What's up, YouTubers and RVers? Handyman Henry here, and this is Henry's box truck conversion project. Did buy two types. I bought this what is it, a plywood birch, and then I bought this cheaper one, which is just wall paneling, very thin, flimsy stuff. And the difference is I paid around 25 bucks for just one of these sheets, and I paid about $13 for one of these sheets. And personally, I don't like this design. It's kind of retro, and you know, it's not very nice, I don't think, as opposed to this plywood. This is supposed to be a birch wood plywood. It's 532 inch thick, so it's a really thin material. This is the thinnest one that they had, I believe. But as you can see the difference, this has a really nice design to it. You can practically stain it, you can paint it, you can do all kind of stuff with it. It's pretty rigid for being such a thin piece of board compared to this. This is kind of flimsy, but unfortunately I don't think I'm going to buy too many of these at $25 a board. You know, it's going to be a couple boards to do this entire box, or I load it whatever I thought I was going to need as I build it. You know, in case anyone's wondering why I always have a mess here, which is not very helpful when I'm trying to, you know, work on paneling. I actually found a different panel. This color looks a little bit lighter, more like the birch color, as opposed to that yellowish panel that I got earlier today. So I'm actually going to take this one back out, and probably this one's already no good. I'll probably return one back for $15 and use that lighter birch color. I think this one's a lot nicer, so I'm happy I found this one instead. But this one is $15, I believe, and that yellow one is like $13, so this one's $2 extra, but it's still a lot cheaper than that what was it, $25 one that I had got earlier, the plywood one. Anyways, here we go again. So this is my first panel. I try to space out the screws equally, and I try to line them up so they don't look too randomly placed. But also these studs up above are, you know, exactly the 4 feet wide. So half of it this way is will hold one panel, and then the half on the other side will hold the other panel, same as this side. So, and also I just measured these. So 4 columns measure 4 feet exactly. So from the middle of that column to the middle of this column. So the height is actually 6 feet and 6 inches. So I will have to cut the length of the panels, but the width is just perfect. I'm looking at these corners, and I had put this piece up there, but there isn't. I don't really have this rail here to screw into. I have this thing in a way. I can possibly screw into this, but I have this thing in a way, and I can't just screw it in on one side. The decision that I need to make is, what the heck am I gonna do with this door? I already know that I don't want to keep this door, so back to the drawing board. So one idea is to have a fold down gate that serves, this is the inside, so that will serve as a deck. So, you know, it'll be assisted by cables and some support legs that fold down or something. So you know, this way you can, you know, lounge out on the deck or whatever, have some chairs or whatever. I really like the concept, the open concept of, since I've had the truck, it's been really nice having this back door wide open, you know, getting this fresh breeze and everything coming through here. That's one option, which this will also serve as a ramp. In case I ever get a motorcycle or something. Option 2 would be to just leave it, put a wall, just put a flat wall behind it, and just build a door. Option 1 sounds better to me, but it's going to be very time consuming. It's has a lot of intricate parts to it, whereas this is just a flat wall and a door with 2 or 3 hinges. So that's the decision I need to make right now. And you know, while I'm on my drawing board, my whiteboard, some of the things that I need to consider also are, after doing my insulation and my paneling, I need to figure out my rear door, install the flooring. I need to figure out what my floor plan is going to be so that I know where my electrical and plumbing is going to be. And I guess that's one thing I did not mention in the previous videos, is that these screws are intentional. I did these screws so that I can always go back and remove them and alter or change something. But the back to what I was saying is that if you're not doing what I'm doing, which is building it slowly and build as I go, then your best option is to figure out your layout ahead of time and just do your wiring and plumbing before you do the paneling. Do your insulation, run your wires and your plumbing to wherever all your outlets are going to be placed, and then do your paneling, put your plugs in and your water outlets. But for all you guys that are building your RV, and it's one thing to consider is that you will have to remove your paneling back out again. You haven't done so before doing your plumbing and wiring. So I don't know if you can see from this angle, but it's flushed. Well, once it's screwed down, it flushes all the way up until here. It scoops out. But looking at it dead ahead, it's, you know, you can't even tell the difference. Alright, so here, this is the first wall panel. Again, the screws for me are an intentional part of the design. You know, if you were to go to a typical motorhome, you won't see any of these screws. For me, is I want to be able to remove this panel at any time, run all new wiring if I have to, or fix wiring, or just install a new accessory or whatever. You know, I just want to be able to remove this panel. But one thing that I advise, if you guys decide to do this, make sure you do at least a pattern. You know, space them out evenly, equally. Don't do them randomly. Don't just drill them in randomly, because then that'll really look like crap. But so for me, this is intentional. The alternative for you guys that don't want to see these screws, you already know, you already done your wiring and your plumbing, and you just want it to look flush and nice. Alternatively, the way you do it is you would just put glue, like liquid nail or some kind of construction glue on the columns. You stick it on, and you just either put little screws or nails up here so that it can hold it up while it dries, and then you cover it with a trim, which I still need my trim. Here, it's not going to be this, but there's a trim that you buy. It comes in a roll, and then it finishes it up like that, and it covers any like little imperfections you see there. Obviously, I don't know if this is a good example, but there's a trim. It's a roll, and it can come in this color or maybe the darker color, whichever color, and you just put the trim all the way across. So alternatively, if you don't want to see the screws like on this one, that's how you would do it. Same goes with the bottom. There's a trim or a baseboard. And once you put your floor, I'm not going to use this floor, but this is an example, but not this thickness, maybe a 1/4 inch. I'm going to have an insulation, and then I'm going to have a board that's going to butt against it. So none of this is going to matter. So you're going to put that like that, and then the bottom, you'll put your trim or your little baseboard that goes along all the way around to cover any gaps or anything like that. So not this styrofoam is going to be the denser kind. This one's kind of squishy. There's a different type of there's different type of foam insulation that's denser, and it's not as squishy. You know, this one, if you step on it, eventually it'll crush down. But so you get the more denser one, and then you put your whatever flooring you're gonna put on top of it. So again, I'm at my crossroad where this door is really impeding from me putting in my paneling. I can't even put this one in because it gets cut off right there. Shift some stuff around. Maybe I'll do that one panel too. And maybe I should just get all this crap out of here. That's what I should be doing. And just free up some floor space. Again, this is RV little parts, knickknacks and stuff that eventually I'm going to use, but if I don't need him now, I'll just get him out of here and bring him in as I need him. We got rivets, so I'm gonna remove these. I'm gonna try to just remove one rivet, see if I can slide my panel right below this. I was hoping that I would only have to remove one, but it's kind of tight, so I'm going to remove this one as well. So the drill is the cleanest way to remove a rivet. Next I'll be doing the grinding. What's up, guys? So this is what I have so far. I got the ceiling, part of the ceiling rather. I didn't get the last piece on the ceiling towards the end, and then I got these this front section on this side and the front section on this side, and so I had to take the rivets out on both of these brackets here, because you know, just taking one out wouldn't let me pull this out, just so I can stick this panel in for right now. But I'm at the point where I can't go any further due to this rail here. If I wanted to leave the door, then I would just, you know, cut my panels around, you know, around the brackets, and you know, do it that way. You know, I can still work and install all my paneling and just cut around the brackets if I was to keep the roll-up door. But I don't want to keep the roll-up door, so I'm going to stop the paneling and insulation for right now. I'm going to tackle this rear door and try to figure out what it is that I want to do with this rear door. So I'm leaning more towards the deck slash ramp, because to be honest with you, you know, since I've been working in here, it's really nice to have this open air. I mean, it's really nice to have it open, so you know, a deck that extends that seems kind of cool to me. So you know, and if I'm gonna have a deck, I might as well, you know, make it into a ramp to serve a second purpose. And then if I do that, then I will install an awning in the back, so I'll have a deck and I'll have a roll-up awning on the back. The roll-up door can work just as good for anybody, even for me. You know, if I wanted to, I can just keep the roll-up door. But it's just as a preference for me. I really don't care too much for it. So the next step for me is to remove this roll-up door and install a solid door that folds down into a ramp or a deck. So stay tuned for that. So hey, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and if you like the videos, comment and let me know what you guys think. This is Handyman Henry, and I hope I see you guys on the next video. Thanks.